Hey everyone, it's Heather with North Avenue Inc. in Burlington, Vermont. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm coming to you this snowy craft afternoon to bring you a free crafting class using the current stamp set and bundle lovely arrangements. Let me bop down to my tabletop and show you what the images are. Let's see. Okay, so this is a new bundle that came out with the new spring catalog. These are the images, and I shared in a couple of different posts that I would be sending out. I had a limited number of kits using some retired products to make these cards for Valentine's Day using the set. I'm missing one of my cards. Where's the other card? Where'd it go? Well, we'll find it. There were 4 cards. Anyhow, if you requested the kit, you got it in the mail, I hope. And we're going to make the cards so you know how to assemble your kit. We're going to use a variety of images. Stay tuned here. I did pre-record and doing clips for some of the really detailed work for folks who decide to purchase the bundle. And I will share those with you after they finish getting generated by AI. And we're going to start with the stamp set here. Okay. The first card that I'm going to do, I think, is the easiest, and that is a book fold. There's my 4th. This is the 4th card. There are actually 2 book folds in the gift packet, and that was free with a purchase. Some of you, I got orders this week, and I'll send that out, and you can sit down and work with the live and the kit at a later date. Feel free to. Facebook only keeps things live for 30 days, and so I am putting links to this to YouTube and my blog. The papers were sent to you, and they were scored at 4.5 and 5.5. Okay. And these are the 2 book fold cards that were in that pack. One is on crumb cake, and one is on thick whisper white, or basic white, I guess that's what we call it now. A little out of the times here. And one of them is a vertical, and one of them is a horizontal. Let me see if I can get myself so you can see me here. There I am. So when you're doing the cards, you're going to want to make sure that you have out your trimmer or a paper cutter of some kind, and listen to the directions. I have already done the die cutting today and the embossing to show you just how to assemble the pieces, because I know some of you were going to use different sets. We're just going to go through with the first cards here. This is the paper that I sent to go with the basic white card. And the finished card looks like this. Okay. The techniques that I added onto this particular card were using some Wink of Stella on this cute little lips punch out that was in your kit. And one of the things that I will show you how to do here before we get going is to take a scoring tool of some kind. And I'm trying to remember what I actually used for the day that I did this. I think I used just a basic score tool. This came with my Stampin' Up! Scoring board. And I just drew a smile. Boop. Boop. And you can bend it a teeny weeny bit so that when it's on your card, it looks like a smile. And then you're going to want to use some Wink of Stella. And I'm going to do this before we start assembling just so it dries. So Wink of Stella is in the catalog. Great product. Just adds a little shine. It's very, very subtle. It works like any water painter brush, and this one's getting a little low. It will darken the cardstock a little tiny bit. But I think it just adds a little shimmer. So this has got a little gold tone to it, and I'm not sure what the current offering is, if it's clear or gold in the catalog. But either way, I think it adds a cute, adorable little pop of interest to the project. Got my tweezers here because it's wet. Let's see if I can. So this is where it's drying. Okay. There we go. Ooh, you could even put more on. Anyhow, this is a punch that is long retired, but I included the punch lips in the kit for those of you who ordered the kit. So I'm going to set that aside for a moment. And this was stamped ahead of time using Secret C. It's one of our new ink colors. It's a very, very dark blue, black, gray. I love it. I've been using it quite a bit. I used the Love You stamp from the set. It's this sentiment here, and I stamped it on there. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to cut this so it works a little better on the folding than it did when I did this class live last night with some of my friends. I got together with a couple of friends, and we each brought a pile of cards. We each designed some cards, and I will share them with you in a minute. You can get ideas from my friends as well. The score here is at 1 inch, and I'm just going to score this at 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to trim it. Okay, there we go. And you'll see the difference it makes in the card when we assemble it. So the first thing we're going to do is put it down on the card. I'm going to use just some Stampin' Seal adhesive. And as I said, these are all my Love and Papers from 2019 that I just couldn't bear not to use them. I'm going to line it right up with that score line. There. That way. What we noticed last night is when my friends were trying this card out, and they were using different adhesives, and they put the full front of the card on without scoring it or cutting it here. They did get a little bubble that we had to adjust for. So you don't want to worry about that. Inside the card, I used an older set called I think it's the Galentine's set. Let me see what it's called. And I sent with your kit a little baby heart that was also part of the punch out. You can put that on the inside, or you can pull out a stamp set and do the inside. I did Flirty, Flamingo, and Secret C. So let's pick one out. I'm going to use Go Girl for this particular one because I know who I'm going to send this one to. And as I said, this is an older set, long retired, but I think it's a fun one. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. There's a lot going on in our country right now. There's a lot going on in Burlington. Lots of Martin Luther King activities. Lots of people advocating for their own beliefs in changes they want to see happening in our government. But I think it's good to take a break every now and then and do a little stamping and a little crafting. Bring a smile to somebody's face. So that's what we're doing today. Throughout this project, I only used a D block. If you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you already have a D block. It's not the really thick ergonomic one, but it certainly will fit all of the stamps that I'm using in this demonstration. Okay. When you're using these little accent stamps, I find that a mistake beginners often make is they go too far away from the stamps that they've already got going on. It's good to cluster things a little bit. Pulls it together a little bit more. So that's all the stamping on this. And one of the questions that I had last night from folks was, do you glue the bookbind before or after you put the twine on? And I decided that I liked to have that little pop of color on the inside of the card. So that's what I did. You can absolutely do it however you want. The kit included 20 inches of twine. And I usually use the glue dot as my secret for making it land where I want it. I'm going to use a little bit of glue here. This is just liquid adhesive. Don't need very much. And we will burnish that with a bone folder. And then we will loop it around a couple of times. In the kit, I also included some little white hearts to add for embellishments if you wanted them. Absolutely not necessary, but there if you want to. I like to put a little glue dot under the bow. Just to keep it where it's supposed to be. Using my take your pick tool to place that glue dot where I want it. Just that. Okay. And using my fine tip glue pen to add just a little bit of glue on the really larger pieces of the die cut. If you used on a regular die machine, I didn't do this for the kit, but some of you, as you get into die cutting, there are easy ways to make your die cuts do what they're supposed to. And one of those is to use adhesive sheets on the back of the cardstock before you even cut it out. And you basically create your own stickers. Center that right there. And And put the lid on this. This has a little tiny needle cap on it. It is wonderful glue. It does not seem to clog like some of the other smaller glue bottles that I've used. You'll have to let me know if you've had that experience. Okay, turn the lips over. One there. I guess I need one more. Can never have too many dimensionals. Okay, so here we go. There's that card. Card number 1. Okay. Card number 2, the other book fold goes the other way. And I did not do any fiber here. I am going to just adhere that right now. And then I will grab my paper for this. This was sent to you as a I believe it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it would be a card front. What I'm going to have you do if you are watching this is trim one end off, and you got to decide, do you want your card to be this way or this way? I like it that way. I'm going to trim 3/4 of an inch off of that side. And I'm going to use that here. And then I have another 1/4 of an inch that I can put down the middle there. Okay. And we'll just adhere those. This one goes together pretty quickly. Using some dry adhesive on this. And again, this is one of those cards where, you know, if you want a little bit more or less of the paper showing. Did I do that? I did. Let's see if I can fix that. Talking and stamping at the same time, and I'm getting all crooked here. There we go. And I think my friend Andrea had done, she changed how she wanted to do her version of this card last night. I'm going to stick it with the same way that I did it originally, which was to have the darker outline, which is just simply the reverse of the paper. And then this little teeny bit of glue. Right there. Okay. And one of the reasons I really appreciated this Lovely Arrangements bundle was the sentiments are so versatile. The original card that I did was a Hello Friend card. Today, when I prepped the pieces for our use today, I did a thank you. So that's what I'm going to show you. I had already die cut the pieces here for us. This is a tip that when you go to stamp with this set, it was not marketed as a reversible, but it absolutely is. You can use the solid side of the stamp to add the color, and then use the detailed side to stamp with Versamark and heat emboss with white powder. And that is exactly what I did to get this effect on the card. And we last night were playing with so many different ways to put this card together. We ended up using simply liquid glue. We didn't use any popped up adhesives on this card just because we were noticing and commenting as a group on how the postage seems to be going up, and people are really trying to be mindful of how they are mailing cards so that they are not getting charged extra postage. So we said, all right, well, let's do it like this. Keep everything super flat. And arrange the leaves as you see fit. One of the really cool things about this set was that the dies include a cutout for a stamped image of 3, and then they include what I did here, 2 and 1 for cardstock images that are embossed. I love that. It gives a little bit of extra detail to the set. And there's the second card. Okay, easy peasy. Put those over there to dry. And on to the third card. Third card is a missing middle card. And I did pre-do the stamping just so that you can see how it gets assembled. Okay. So again, I started with a card base. Where did I put it? Oh my goodness, I'm so discombobulated here. There we go. So a missing middle simply means that you're doing a top fold card like so, but you're taking a piece off and another piece from the middle and flipping them around a little bit. So what that ends up doing is you have a top piece here, and you have a second piece here, and then you have a piece that's going to connect them together. Okay. Like so. Okay. And let's go ahead and put this together. This used this paper, which is again same paper from way back when. Behind my panel here, I stamped a little extra piece. Okay, and we're gonna cut a 1.5 inch wide piece off of here to go on the outside and use the reverse of the beautiful paper. So there's the hearts. And again, there is really no right or wrong way to do these pieces. Feel free to play around with the layouts. That's what stamping is all about. Okay. I'm going to adhere this on the inside first. And you can see I'm not being real fussy about which adhesive I'm using. Sometimes you really do need the fine tip. Sometimes you really do need the dry adhesive. Most of the time, these guys are pretty interchangeable. And I made a goof when I was doing the stamping this morning to prep for this. I did not cut my white piece long enough. So I'm not actually going to adhere it. I didn't have time to recut and restamp. But I wanted to show you that, again, it was that full-size backside of the stamp flipped over to get the ink color, and then using the detailed side to get the image, and then using the large stamp just to give it a little interest inside to match with what we're going to put on the outside. Okay, so this is going to go like this. You have to kind of line this up. Edge there. We're going to simply add some glue here, add some glue here. And I have seen these done different ways, as I said. So if you have a different way that you like to do it, I would love to hear. You can drop me a comment, send me an email at heather@northavenue.inc. It's my business Gmail. If you're trying to get a hold of me, that is really the best way to do that. It's hard for me to respond to everything through Facebook Messenger. Necessary evil in this day and age, but here's that. Okay, and then I'm going to do the flower accent. I just think they're very sweet. I love that that's an option here for adding detail. I think I did this one looking out like so. That. And then I used some tiny little hearts that also have been around for a while. And you should have gotten a strip of 6 of them in your packet. And now I'm looking for them. It's been a busy week. My classroom that I work in had spent last week in the library of our school instead of in our regular class. So it's been a little nutsy fruitsy around my house with the energy that it's taken to be in a different space. And so focusing on this today, I'm glad that I can do this with you all today. So one of the really cool things about getting neutral or white embellishments is that you can color them with your Stampin' Blends to create the color that you want. So I'm going to do that today. I think I sent you 6 to play with. I'm going to see what I can do a little bit more. Let's see, where's my Flirty Flamingo? So did I want Flirty Flamingo? Yeah, I think I did. Okay, this is Flirty Flamingo Stampin' Blend, and I'm just going to color it with this alcohol marker before I put it on. Did you know you could do this? Alcohol markers are a wonderful tool, and I very rarely will buy colored embellishments anymore. I buy a lot more of plain ones that I can color the way I want. These are adhesive backed, and although we don't have these, I don't believe we have these currently. I could probably check for you, but we always have something that you can color, whether it's white pearls, come on, get where I want you. There we go. There we go. All right, there's the sending smiles. And as I said, you can decorate the inside as well. I suppose I could put that there, but I'm going to restamp. So that's hidden under there. The one thing you want to make sure of is when you're using a panel, you want to have it hidden by the flap that comes down. So again, this is the missing middle card. There's that card number 3. All right, card number 4 is this card. And when we were doing this card last night, my friend said, "Oh, I really don't like blue. Can I flip it over?" I said, "Of course you can flip it over. It's your project that you are taking home. So absolutely flip it over." And I'm going to show you what her card came out looking like. And you can decide how you want to do yours. So I stamped, instead of in blue, I stamped in soft seafoam to go with the opposite side of the paper. And I stamped the leaves in seafoam to go with the opposite side of the paper. And I punched a light green heart to take the place of this. And then when we use the scrap of color, I think I'm going to do it a little different than she did it. We used this pattern paper from our new Valentine collection, and my friend turned it over and used the back part. So when she layered it, it was very soft. And when I layered it, a little bit more dramatic. So you can decide how you want to do it. So let me cut a strip of this. And I want to say it was 1 3/4 by 3. 3? Yep, 1 3/4 by 3 to go behind that die cut. And then this paper we trimmed vertically to go with the fold. That should be 1 inch. Okay. 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch. Oh, I did a little bit. Well, we'll experiment. We're going to have an experiment here. Okay. Let's see, a full inch. That's what we were doing. Okay, let's glue. Let's glue. Okay, so here's the card. It's a gatefold card. And if you got the kit, I had scored it for you. Okay. And the strips are going to go, should really have done this as a puzzle. Like that. Like that. Outside. Like that. Give it a little extra interest. So there's no mistakes in stamping. No mistakes. Always an opportunity for added interest. And I absolutely am one of the people that when I get talking and stamping at the same time, it is hard for me to keep it all straight. But I guess I'll get better at it. That's probably why I do this, is to get better at presenting things to folks. Like that. This is going to go on the inside right here. Another tip for using the liquid glue. I saw some folks at my class last night using their liquid glue on their stamping paper, which was on a foam mat. And that's too soft to get a really good control of the glue. You really need your glue to be coming out in a very measured way. Otherwise, you're going to gush everywhere. So using something that's quite firm and actually pressing the tip of the glue down, you're going to get a better result. So there's that panel there. And then we're going to adhere this. I think what if I did just regular old green behind it? I like that. I'm going to do green behind it. We're going to even do a step further than we played around with last night. We'll go back to a Seafoam behind it and see what that does. That's one of the reasons that I bought this die set, because I felt like it was so versatile. There were so many things that could be done with it. Okay, I'm just going to pop that down there like that. Let's scrap a green. I think that's better if we're going to keep with that color combo. And we've got the green flower, we've got the green heart, and the green leaves. And so let's put this leaf here. And I'm also going to flip it this way just to show you a different way to do it. We're going to flip it that way. So this is our closure for the card. Okay. And we've got thank you. Oops. Yeah, we're going to do it like that. Like that. And then the thank you. What I noticed when I did it on the light green to tie in the colors, I felt that the embossing didn't show up enough. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a brush and my ink pad, and we're just going to brush it a little bit. Add a little bit more intensity of contrast between the embossing and the... all right, where's my ink? Goodness gracious, I'm losing my mind, friends. There it is. Okay. When you use a brush with your ink, you're going to go lighter and add more as you go, because you can't take it off once it's on. So it kind of makes a little bit of an ombre effect, I think, if I go from that side over. But you see how the contrast then is a little bit more intense. I think I like that better. I'm going to put that on top here. Thank you. I'm going to put it on top of the flower, which with the, I guess I did do it that way. Thank you. Okay, and then I'm going to pull out those white hearts again. And I'm going to put them, actually, oops, that didn't work. Put them on the heart this time. And I'm going to bring back my Wink of Stella as well, because I still would like a little bit more zoom in this. Just going to gently add a little bit more, because I love Wink of Stella. It does take a little bit to get the hang of it. Oops, that was, as I said, there's a little bit extra there. So it's going to be more of a golden green on the card. And then we need a belly band. To do a belly band, I was amazed that one of the women I was stamping with last night has been stamping for a really long time, and she had never done a card with a belly band. And all a belly band is, I think if you got the card kit, you got, oh gosh, my heart moved. Sit down there. Stick. A belly band simply keeps your card in place. As you're, maybe we want pink. I think we want pink for this color scheme. Anyhow, what I like about belly bands is you can dress them up. They're a lot of fun. And I think the one that I sent in your kit was a 3/4 inch belly strip. So let's do this. Let's do a 3/4 inch belly strip and do a little extra stamping. It's always good. You know, when you go to a live class, you never know what's going to come out of it. And I kind of feel that way about going live with people on the internet, is adding a little bit more value for the time you spend by being with me on the internet here. So, so I think what I'm going to do is stamp love you, or send, oh, thank you, sending you smiles. That's what I'm going to do, sending you smiles, which is one of the other sentiments here. Ooh, there's a so very much. We'll do that, so very much. That works better. It's always fun to play. Here we go. Thank you so very much. We'll do that in the Flirty Flamingo. I love stamps. You can do so many crazy things with them. So this video is going a little long. I apologize for that, but I wanted to give you bang for buck. So very much. So very much. So very much. You notice I started in the middle of the belly band because we're going to wrap it around the back of the card. Okay. Okie dokie. Thank you so very much, so very much, so very much. Okay, wrap it around. And I don't like to score them ahead of time because of mailing and space in the mailer. I think the pieces were actually scored, but there. Thank you so very much. The card is closed. The recipient simply pulls this off. And there's the inside, lots of space to write. Okay, so let's get some of this mess cleared up, and I want to see what you think about the cards that we did today. Okay, so here we go. We have the love you. We have thank you very much. We have the original love you that I did in my color scheme. We have the gatefold card. We have the missing middle card. We have 2 bookbinding cards. Okay, thank you. Hello, friend. And that, my friends, is what I've got for you today. This has been a little bit longer than normal. I appreciate you visiting with me today, and I love to hear from you. If you have questions or comments, I'm going to ask you to send me an email at heather@northavenueinc.inc. And I would love to help you with your stamping needs if you don't have a demonstrator already. Take care. We'll see you next time.